Welcome back to my garage. Today is going to be a special episode. I received a little surprise from the folks at Arccaptain. They happened to see my video reviewing the MiG-130 that I bought a couple of months ago, and I've used it for a bunch of different projects actually, and it's been working great. And chatting with them, and they said, hey, we can send you another one to try out. And this time they sent me this surprise, so stay tuned. So this is what I received, and I received Arccaptain Mig160, and this is the next level up from the one I have actually. And I'm gonna open the box right now. I wanted to have the option of swapping the positive and negative for stainless steel flux core welding, and I also wanted to have the option of gas welding. So this one I'm actually very excited about, this Arccaptain Mig160. So I'm gonna open it up and see. I also received this Arccaptain auto darkening welder, which has that true color. I actually have a couple of those true color ones, and they're awesome. What happens is when you're actually welding, you can actually see in color instead of just green screen. You'll be able to actually see the colors and the contrast. If you add a little bit of lighting to it, you can even weld in darker areas. So I'm very excited about this helmet as well. I'm gonna open it up and also see what's in there. And on top of that, I'm gonna make another video just for the welding helmet. I'm gonna test it out against the one I've currently been using. So let me show you. So actually I've been using this helmet quite a bit. It's really a nice helmet. And actually when I bought it, it was not true color. So I ended up buying the screen online, and I replaced that screen to true color. So I'm familiar with the true color, and I think it's a great addition to any welding helmet. I also had my trusty old, my first welder helmet that I've used. It was like a $10 one, and I use that for just playing around in the garage and things like that. So stay tuned for the next video about this auto darkening helmet. So I'm gonna box it. So I'm gonna unbox this. This is the first time to open it. So and the first thing I see here is the hose for the gas. So this is probably 6 feet long. It's probably a 10 feet long. It's actually a pretty nice size. I'm gonna measure it up. So we are looking at 10 feet. 10 feet exactly, which is really nice. It's long enough to keep the bottle away if you're working far away from the bottle. So that's one thing here. Then you have a strap. I have this on my 130, so it's actually pretty nice to have if you want to carry it. This one is 0.8 V and a 0.9 V, and then a couple of tips. Actually, so we got a couple of tips here, 0.8 and 0.9, and then 0.8 V and 0.9 V. Those are for the solid wire. Then we have the usual mini brush. I mean, I use this sometimes inside the garage, but it really doesn't help when you're working in a bigger project. Okay, we got one 2-pound spool, 0.9, 35 pounds. Okay, what else we have? We have the stick welding stuff. So this is actually a long one, which is actually nice. I bet you this is a 10-footer as well. So let me measure. So this is another 10 feet, which is nice for a with the whole bit. Then we have the ground. Actually, this is, let's see here. Yeah, this is the usual ground clamp. Those ground clamps are not copper, so if you need to upgrade, you need to buy a copper one. You can buy them from Harbor Freight or something. They're about $70 bucks. But those ones are okay for a little bit of work, but if you're trying to do something with a heavy amps, it's probably better to get a copper clamp. So this is probably another 10 feet. Okay, this is 10 feet as well, which is actually nice to have that long cables. Alright, now next will be the actual welder itself. And the manual. And also the manual comes with another tip here. That's another point. And setup guide. I don't know why they don't stick the setup guide here or make a room for it inside. It would be nice if it's inside so you don't have to look for it if you need to change your settings. So now, let's see this order. Actually, it's pretty nice. It's almost the same size as the 130. Let me grab my 130 and look at it in a minute. So this one, I think the main difference I see is the inlet for the gas. And that's from the back side. The front side, the other difference would be your electrodes. You can switch between negative and positive. Of course, it's going to be a negative if you're welding flux core, and except the flux core, unless you're welding flux core stainless steel, you need to switch it to the positive. So that's one thing. That's one major difference between this and the 130. In terms of the lead for the torch, seems like it's the exact same one that I have. Yeah, it looks like the exact same one I have. And it's kind of short, a little bit short. If you look at it, you need it to be a little longer. I think 10 footer would be nice if we can have a torch this 10 footer. This one is showing about 6.5 footer. Okay, which is the typical, which is the same as the 130 as well. Okay. Now the front panel looks very similar to the 130. I'm gonna power it on. I'm gonna turn it on and see what it looks like. Now, one thing difference also between this and the 130 is this one is a dual voltage. So this is a 220 and 110. So it comes with this connection, which I prefer if this was the main, and then the swap would be for the 220, because most of the time I use it as a 110. I will use it as 220 when I need it, but I would prefer not to have this big heavy thing dangling around. But the cord itself is not bad. It's about 6 footer. Okay, so here is the big 130. And size comparison, they look identical. They look exactly the same from the outside. I can't tell any difference, except this one says 130, this one says 160. So from a panel standpoint, they look the same. Of course, you don't have, this one doesn't have the ability to switch the polarity on the torch. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna fire it up. Of course, I did my upgrade on the clamp here, because that clamp that comes with it is a bit flimsy, and sometimes it doesn't grip well on the ground. So here's what I'm gonna. So I'm gonna fire it up right now and see what it looks like, and then load the wires and give it a test drive. So first I want to check what size tip we have here. This is a 0.9 and it matches the wire that came with the machine, so 0.9 as well. So from the setup and everything, it looks exactly like the Mig130 that I have here. Everything identical. So let's see. I'm gonna load the wire and give it a test drive and see how it performs. And by the way, I've used that Mig130 for I would say at least 5-6 projects, and it's performing excellent from a penetration standpoint, from the amount of power. I actually was able to use the full 130 on a 30 amp breaker, but once you go into the 80 amps or 90 amps, 20 amp breaker normally trips it, but I can tell you it puts a lot of power, and I've never had any issues with it. All the welds have been fusing properly. I can put some pictures in the video as well of what that Mig130 did. So. Cut the tip, that way it flows smoother into the so I'm feeding this by hand right now. Okay, now when I tighten this, I normally like to keep the screw kind of flush with this. It gives it enough tension, especially during when you're welding. The tip gets heated up, and if you get a lot of slag on it, it resists a little bit more. So I like to keep this screw flush with the plastic. It gives it a nice tension, and if you need more, you can just tighten it more. So I'm gonna go ahead and power the machine. Let's see what it does, and then we'll feed the wire. Okay. So very similar way that the 130 starts, so the machine starts, you have the 3 different options here. You have the Mig part, and then you have the stick, and then you have the TIG, the lift TIG. I actually have a lift TIG. I may try this later on, but not in this video. But today I'm gonna practice on the Mig part. So if you click on this button, it will switch between all of them. So right now it's set up as a Mig. Now the wire selection you have 0.3, 0.35, and 0.40. So in this case, I'm going to put 0.35, and on the second hand, nice with our test on. So that's what we have here. I'm going to start feeding the wire. So we're ready to just drive this. Now this tip here, this is for the Mig. You need it for the Mig wire, but for the flux core you actually don't need it, because if you can see, you don't see the tip here. So I use those black ones that you can buy from Harbor Freight or something. You can buy them online. They're really nice tips. So I normally use those black ones. Those are nice for flux cores. So it's probably a good idea to switch it to those black ones. This one is kind of worn out. I need to get removed. But those are actually nice because you can see your nozzle, you can see your contact tip, and at the same time you can protect your gas outlet here. So if you're a welding flux core, buy yourself one of those, and I can leave a link in the description of where to buy them. But those are very nice in terms of giving you the visibility to the weld follow. As you can see, you can see the tip here, and you can weld have a much better accuracy. One thing I noticed here is the fan just went off, which I assumed that the fan went off because I'm idling, and And this is actually a nice feature. It's not in the MiG-130. It's a nice feature to have this this fan turn off when it's not in use. So it's actually a nice feature. I guess if I pull the trigger, so we'll see if that fan turns on once we start welding. I assume that it's a fan on demand versus the other one that's running all the time, so it kind of reduces the amount of noise and the power consumption when you're not using it. So this is it for unboxing and looking at the contents. I'm very excited to try it out because I actually love my MiG-130. It's to be honest with you, I love the Synergic mode on those machines because once you put it on once you set up the amp, it set up everything. Set up the wire feed. It sets up the voltage. So you actually don't need to do anything. Just set up the amp based on the material thickness that you're using, or based on your experience, whatever amperage you like to use. But once you set up the amperage, you don't have to mess with anything. I actually do have another machine that I'm going to do a review on, but later on, that is more professional. It's a multi-process. And it does not have the Synergic mode, and actually I prefer to use this one than the other one because I don't have to mess with looking at the chart and see what the amperage and the wire speed. Maybe at certain conditions or certain application that you need to kind of fine tune the wire speed, but for the stuff that I do around the house and with my friends and other projects, I don't need all the fine tuning and the professional level. I need something to be able to weld together and look nice and be functional. So this machine and the 130 as well have been, so this 130 that I have has been working perfectly with that Synergic mode. So if you're a beginner like myself or non-professional like myself, welder, this will be the easiest machine that you can ever acquire. Is a machine that has a Synergic mode. So I'm gonna test it right now. Let me gear up. I'm gonna test it just to see how it feels. But then I'm going to have another project coming up next week. I'm going to use this machine for this. I'm going to try to record as much as I can to show what the machine is capable of doing. So I'm going to share that on the next video. But for right now, I'm going to test it out on my practice workpiece, and I'll show you what it does. And in the next video, I'm going to take it for an actual project that I have, and I'm going to try to record what the machine is doing. If you like this machine, please use the link below. It will help the channel to purchase it from Arccaptain, or if you're interested in buying it from Amazon, use the link below. If you buy from their website, I have a coupon code for 5%. Use that coupon code to give you automatic discount. So please support the channel by doing that, and like and subscribe, and also watch my other videos for more information as well. Thank you. So before I got suited up, so I'm ready to weld, but before I do that, I'm actually very anxious to see what's inside this box. So I'm going to open the box for this VisionX300 helmet. And I want to see what's inside actually, because it's pretty exciting to see that. I always wanted to get one of those big widescreen welding helmet. So let me open the box and see what's inside. Oh, nice. All right, so first thing you notice, it comes with a carrying bag. This is really nice. It's like a backpack / carrying bag. And oh, nice! Look at that design. So this is okay. So let's look at that really close here. So this is a nice helmet. Okay, so this is the settings here. I guess this. Okay, so this is the setting for the shade amount. Okay, this is for welding. This is grinding. This is for cutting. So in our case, we're going to use it for welding. The shade, you can leave it like midway. It's got a little bit of a nice artwork on it. Now the other side of this has the sensitivity. I guess it's how fast the shade turns on and off. And It has the fast, slow. It has the slow and fast. So as I mentioned before, I have a true color helmet as well. So you're able to see the true color. I'm able to see the same exact here as this one. I'm gonna try to put the camera on this one while I'm welding to kind of demonstrate what it looks like with a true color. But this is impressive. It's got the big shield here, and then they got the 4 inches, 4x4, almost 4x4 viewing window. Now in the box, it comes with additional 2 more shields here. So you got 2 additional shields. So if those ones get scratched, you got 2, and I'm sure you can buy more online. It also comes with some stickers. Comes with the extra batteries. I think those are rechargeable batteries, and you're recharged using those solar sensors. So when you're welding, that solar panels that you have in there, they will trigger and recharge the helmet. And also it has a test button. So it has a test button inside here, as you can see, that allows you to test it out to see if it auto darken. It kind of triggers the sensor to auto darken. All right, so I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna use it for my weld practice here. It looks pretty nice. A pretty good upgrade for what I had before, so very happy with that. Now, in terms of the headgear, I've always used this one here, and it tends to slip over time, so it doesn't really tighten. If you try to tighten it all the way, kind of slips. So you gotta be careful about that. I hope that design is more solid and it doesn't do that. So only time will tell, but it seems like it's well made. It's got nice cushions on the side here, nice cushions on the front. So I'm gonna use it for sure, and I'll report back to you my findings maybe in the next couple of months or something. Then I got the storage bag. Very nice storage bag. Oh, it has also one more plastic for the front. Okay, nice. So also I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you want to check it out, and if you want to get the keyhole code. One thing I want to mention also, Arccaptain has their anniversary coming up in the first couple of weeks of August. They're gonna have a massive discounts, so try to take advantage of that. And also you can use my coupon code to add an additional 5% on top. So if you're interested, just click on the link below and use the coupon code that I have. So I have the machine set up here at 70 amps, 72 amps, 70 amps, which is the same amperage that I used here on my Mig130. So let's see what kind of weld we get with this one. But just one thing to note here, those are 030 wires. This is going to be 035 wires, so just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to put my new helmet on. Wow. All right, so I can see everything. So let's see. Wow. It feels so good. The way it's like very smooth and very strong. So this one is 70 setting, 435. This one is 70, 430. Definitely a pretty strong machine, and very smooth feeding. One more beat. I like this machine. I like it even better than the 130. It's got a lot more power to it. And I like the 035 too, because now you get more wire for the same ankle, I guess. One more. Okay. Very this up and show you the difference. So this helmet really is really nice because you can see the weld in true color, and it's very clear. It doesn't have that green screen always like the regular helmets. Okay, so let me show you what I have here. So those are the welds that I've done with this MiG160, starting with 70 amps, 70 amps, 70 amps, 70 amps, and this one was 95 amps or 96 amps. As you can see, the weld is really nice, very good penetration here. Of course, I mean, I'm not a professional welder, so this is something for non-professional welder here. So I'm using this for practicing, and as you can see, this machine and the 130 are doing a great job putting up some really nice weld. Please note that Arccaptain has their anniversary coming up on the second week of August. They're going to have a major discount on their website, so you can use the link below and the discount code to get additional 5% discount from purchasing from their website, or you can use the link below for Amazon purchases as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.